Hey guys, welcome to Farm Charm Chic. I'm Emily. In today's episode, I am bringing you 3 gorgeous DIYs that all use Dollar Tree florals. This is part of an exciting collaboration, and I will explain a little bit more about that as we get into the video. If you like crafting, DIYs, dupes, hacks, thrift flips, or just creating in general, I would love if you would consider subscribing and becoming my crafting BFF. If you do like any of the projects in today's video, remember to hit that thumbs up, but let's go make some DIYs. I got this little miniature dough bowl from Vintage Market Days, but I have seen them on Amazon. I'll try to leave a link below, but I like my sugar mold that I do, you guys have seen in other videos. I kind of like to change things out with my dough bowls to kind of make different things for different seasons. So I'm just going to make a little floral arrangement, almost like a little mini centerpiece with this. So I'm just taking some floral foam, you can just use regular styrofoam too, and I'm just gluing it together so it fits in. Now I'm not going to glue this in super well to my dough bowl because I want to be able to take it out and reuse it for different seasons. So that's why I end up taking the styrofoam out and kind of doing everything. I just have it placed in there right now so I can kind of get an idea of how big I want this to be. Now, if you guys haven't seen me do this hack before, if you ever get Dollar Tree or well, any type of florals that the leaves maybe are not quite so nice or kind of wrinkled or whatever, you can use a heat gun and kind of blast them. You want to do it as a quick blast though, because you don't want to start to melt the leaf, but it will make them go flat. So I just did that to all my leaves so they had a nice crisp look to them. And now I'm just going to go around the edge and get the base of my arrangement here. Now, I am not a florist at all. I just do what looks good or feels good to me. So if there's something that you've done floral arranging before and you're like, ugh, that's not how you would do that, it's probably not, but I just do what works for me. So just kind of note that. So I'm just using a bunch of different leaves that I cut off from Dollar Tree picks, and I'm just doing, again, what looks good, the different colors, kind of making it even so not all one color's clumped in one area. And now I'm just on the top of this to cover up that floral foam. I just put some hot glue down and then put some Spanish moss all over it. Now these cute little pumpkins came from Dollar Tree, and they were the ones that had like the little metal clasp on the bottom. You can kind of see in one of these, you'll see me removing that off of there. And I'm just taking some skewers. You could glue this down, but I like to reuse a lot of things. Once I take this apart, I probably won't leave it for next year. I'll do something different. So I'll be able to use these in a different project if I don't ruin them with hot glue. So keep that in mind, but you are welcome to glue your items in also. Now I have some other cute little florals that I thought would match really well, and I just kind of stick those in anywhere that there was some like empty space or anything like that. And I love, love, love these things hanging over the edges here, these little berries. I'm not even sure what these are, but I thought they were so cute, and it brings that little touch of like a bluish color in. And then I'm just sticking some pine cones, and I thought it needed a little bit of a greener leaf in there, so I tucked those in. I thought it looked good. Again, you're just gonna do what looks good to you. So now I'm just making sure that it fits in my dough bowl. And I will take some hot glue and just put a couple of little dots on the bottom here just to hold it in place, so if it gets bumped or something, it's not going to come like falling out or anything like that. And in between some of those pumpkins where I didn't really have any florals or anything, I just tucked with a skewer some of the Spanish moss. And then also around the edge of the bowl, you can kind of like, if you look at it at eye level, you'll be able to see that styrofoam a little bit. So I just tuck some of the Spanish moss all the way around that also. And then some of these pumpkins, you could kind of see like they had, the tops of them were a little rough looking. So I just put a little bit of hot glue around the top of them and glued a little bit of the teeny bits of the Spanish moss left over onto them. All in all, I think this turns out so cute. It will be a beautiful small little centerpiece. It would be perfect for like a coffee table, especially like so it doesn't block your view to the TV or something. I love how this turns out. I am very excited to be participating with these lovely ladies to do a Dollar Tree Florals Challenge. So all of our DIYs have to use florals from Dollar Tree. I'm participating with Ellie from DIY From House to Home. Ellie is so amazing. She organized this challenge for us, and I just love her. She has such great DIY style, and her crafting is impeccable. She is so neat while she crafts, and she always comes up with the most beautiful crafts, and she has a lovely farmhouse style. You are going to love her, so definitely check her out. Participating with us is also Lori from Lori Bly DIY, and Lori is amazing. She has such a whimsical style, and I absolutely love her DIYs. Lori is someone I have watched since way before I had my channel, and honestly, I'm a little starstruck to be getting to work with her. She is just fabulous. You're going to definitely love her. Down in my description box and pinned in my comments will be a link for the playlist so you can watch all of our videos. And if you are new or coming from the playlist, welcome. I would love to become crafting BFFs, so hit that subscribe button and we can craft together here on YouTube every week. And if you are returning or have been here before, it is so great to have you back. Now let's make some more DIYs. I have this wreath form that I got from the floral section at Hobby Lobby. It was on clearance, but you can easily use like one of these that you found at Dollar Tree or any other wreath base that you have. It will take like the same principle. So just use what you have or what you can find, because I'm not sure that you'll be able to find this exact one. And I'm just going to show you a couple of different ways. So I trimmed all of these picks from Dollar Tree, and you can see that I'm just using, they've got the wire stem on them, and I'm just wrapping it around the base of my wreath form here. So you can do that, or you can use hot glue, or you can do a combination of both, whatever works for what type of wreath form you're using. I just wanted to show you that you can easily pull those through on some wreath forms and then wrap those around if you're not a fan of using a lot of hot glue or anything on wreaths. So I'm doing a combination of the two. I'll wrap some, and then I'm showing you here that I just pull the leaves off of that wire stem, and then I will just hold them down in to glue those and go around the wreath. So I'm just using different colors of the autumn leaves here, and I'll use a couple of different styles too as the wreath goes on to kind of make this a little bit fuller. And you can kind of see I have to add a little bit of glue down in there sometimes, and then you'll even see that I will drop some glue down on some of the leaves here. One of them that I go to glue on, you'll see me do a big gob, and I'll kind of show you how I take care of that. But you just work your way around the wreath, and you'll just put wherever it looks like it needs some filling in, if that makes sense. You just want to keep checking it, hold it up and look at it and make sure that it looks even and that it's not like way bushy on one side and not on the other. Just kind of keep it even. I think this is where you see me drop the glue on the one leaf down there. And so all I do to take care of that is I try to wipe it off with my finger, and that doesn't work very well. So I just stick it behind the leaf in front of it and push it down, and that's going to hold that leaf right there, and you're never going to know. But again, you can just kind of see it's not rocket science, it's crafting. You just kind of go around, and wherever looks good, it is just hot glue. So if you have to pull it off because it doesn't look right or something, or add more to it, you can totally do that. Now, Dollar Tree has these little, I think it's just wheat is all this is, or millet or something. I'm not really sure what they call it, but it looks like wheat to me. So I thought it would be kind of fun to put that on the bottom of the wreath. Now you could I'm doing this where the base of my wreath has a kind of an arrangement at the bottom with a bow and some different florals here. But you could put this all around the wreath if you wanted to, but I'm just going to kind of move forward with how I'm doing this here. And so if you're doing it this way, you just want to make sure that you're kind of keeping it even, so it's symmetrical on both sides. And so whatever I do to the one side, I'll do to the other. So if I add 3 wheat on one side, for instance, I add 3 wheat on the other, kind of in the same spot, so it looks pretty symmetrical. You can do an asymmetrical look too if that's your thing, but for this one I'm just kind of going pretty symmetrical. And so I just have all of these different types of florals that I've picked up. When Dollar Tree comes out with their florals for this season, I'll just go buy like 2 or 3 of each kind of floral, or ones that look good to me. I try to get, like I said, different textures. You can see the different, like the wheat and the berries, the different leaves, things like that. So I have a kind of an arrangement, or kind of like a good selection. So I'm going to make a bow to put on here, and I'm not the best bow maker. I'm working really hard on my bows, and so I'm just showing you how I'm doing this one, but I just loop a couple of ribbons there together, you can kind of see, and then I'll pinch them in the middle and put a zip tie. And then I also took just a piece to have as the tails to put in there with the zip tie. And I'm doing this 3 times with 3 different colors of ribbon because I kind of wanted the different contrasts of the patterns. I love mixing patterns and everything together. So I'm just making each one a little bit smaller than the prior bow. You can see I just measure out 2 lengths of ribbon. I just fold them over on each other and then pinch them in the middle. And these little clasps, clamps, or whatever you want to call them, that you get at Dollar Tree are perfect for doing this, to kind of hold them so you can work, grab your zip tie or grab another piece of fabric or ribbon, excuse me. And I just put, you can see how I just put that tail in the bottom of that one. I just cut another piece of ribbon and just pinched in there with those. And then I'll just grab a zip tie and put around it. And then I just stack these one on top of the other and zip tie them all together. And then I just kind of trim my tails as I want. So you can cut them in a diagonal, dovetail, whatever works for you. And then I feed a zip tie through my wreath, and then you just want to make sure that it's going to fit around everything. So I fed it through like one of the little pieces of wood on my wreath here. And then you're going to kind of fluff it up before you tie it tight or cinch it tight, just to make sure it's exactly where you want it. And then you just, and here you can kind of see I'm doing a little bit of fluffing, and then I will zip tie that completely tight. Now I wanted to cover up that zip tie, so I'm just using some of these little berries that were left from one of the picks, and I'm just putting that over the little zip tie. You could do a button, you could do Spanish moss, whatever works, whatever you've got. A sunflower would be really cute. This is just what I had close by, and I felt like it mixed in really well where I had those other berries in the wreath. But all in all, I think this turns out absolutely beautiful. I mean, for Dollar Tree florals, something like this at Hobby Lobby would go for way more than what you paid for the bunch of Dollar Tree florals that you put on this. And it is something that will last me from year to year, and I think it's absolutely beautiful. What do you guys think of this? Are you guys on Instagram? If you are, I would love if you would come and find me. I am Farm Charm Chic over there. I'll leave a link down in my description box so you can easily find me. But come and see what I'm working on. I post there quite a bit. I like to show you things that I'm working on or when I have videos ready. It's just another place to stay in touch. So if you do come find me, remember to send me a DM and say hi, because I do love meeting new friends. This is just one of those Dollar Tree pumpkins that has that word, it was metal on it that said thankful, and I'd taken that off to use on another project. So this is just what is left behind. So I just removed that little hanging tag off of the back and the little bow on the front. Dollar Tree has a ton of different styles of pumpkins like this though, and so I feel like they're a really great value for doing different crafts with. So definitely grab a couple just to have in your stash, because I find myself using them all the time. So I'm just giving this a couple coats of just some pumpkin colored chalk paint, and then I'm a fan of having the green stem on the orange pumpkins, so I'm also just going to take some of my little green chalk paint and color that stem so that way it has the contrast and the colors I like. Now, I did find this frame at Hobby Lobby in their clearance section. I love looking through their clearance section for different pictures that you maybe would not ordinarily hang in your house, but to use for backgrounds or bases. You can also use a canvas if you have, or even another Dollar Tree sign would work. I liked this one because I felt like the pumpkin covered up that design, and I'm not going to have to do any work to the background of it. And I do want some ridges on my pumpkin here. So this is just using some antiquing wax is all, and just a brush here that I'm just kind of going with the curvature of the pumpkin to kind of make those little ridges. And I just wanted a little definition in there so it's not just such a stark, plain, like flat pumpkin. Hopefully that you can see what I'm doing here. And then I do kind of dry brush over the whole pumpkin with the antiquing wax to kind of give it a little bit of an aged look. And then I do right here, I'm going over with some orange after that antique wax has dried to kind of tone it down a little bit so it's not quite so like in your face with the ridges, so it kind of tones it down a little bit. Now you can see how this pumpkin covers the design on my sign. I felt like that little chain kind of looks like the pumpkin's hanging there. I was fine with that. I actually quite enjoyed and liked how this looks. So again, if it's something that you would want to do something with the back of your painting or picture or whatever you end up using, definitely do that so it matches your decor and your taste. And I'm just using some tumbling tower blocks to kind of pop it out a little bit. I'm a fan of having a little bit of a three-dimensional look. Now this is just some raffia here that I have. You can pick this up at Dollar Tree or Walmart, any craft store. And I kind of split it apart so it was some little thin strands. And then I just used some hot glue to glue that on there. And then this is just a thicker piece of jute twine. And I'm just layering some different things to hang off of the pumpkin to add some texture and everything. I like the look of the buffalo check ribbon on there. I feel like bringing a little bit of black into it does kind of make it a little more relevant for October and Halloween. It's not so in your face Halloween. It's something that can be left out all through the fall season, but I do kind of like that. So that's why I'm adding a little bit of black on here. Now these are just some Dollar Tree flowers that I have, and I just cut them off an individual stem so I can glue them onto the pumpkin here. we're just gonna decorate the top of this pumpkin with all different florals and bows and everything and kind of jazz it up a little bit here. So I'm just using some hot glue to glue each of those strands on. I'll tuck some of them behind the ribbon, some of them on top of the ribbon, because we're gonna put a bigger bow on this, so it really doesn't matter too much right now what it looks like in that center. And then I've had those cute little, I'm not really even sure what the different flowers are called, you guys, but I just picked what looked good. I get asked a lot how I pick the picks that I use in my florals, and honestly, I just pick what looks good to me. So I like to look for different types of textures and different colors of leaves, and then I just kind of mix and match as I do my projects. So this is just a little bit of like ticking ribbon, I think is what this is called, from Hobby Lobby, and then this plaid here, and it's more of like a velvety plaid. I thought those textures looked really cute, and it brings a little bit of that black in, but I wanted a little bit more orange to show through, a little different tone of orange. So this ribbon is from Dollar Tree, and I just made a giant bow, and I just tied shoestring bows on these, and then I glue this one on the base, and I just stack these ribbons just by gluing one on top of the other here. Pretty simple. I think it turns out really cute. I love all of those different patterns and the textures together. And now I can kind of see that the bow's there where I want to add a little bit more of the leaves and different things like that. So I just tuck different things in. These little, I love the color that's on those leaves right there that are the kind of cream color and tan. And this is just some burlap, or not, it's not burlap, it's twine with wire in it. And I just wrap it around my paintbrush and glue that in for some little corkscrew look to the pumpkin, like the little pumpkin vines or tendrils. And then I have some different like pine cones. These are all just from Dollar Tree picks. Every single one of these, I took all of these off of. And then I'm gluing some Spanish moss to kind of cover up that area on top of the bow, where you can see where it's layered together. Kind of adds a little different texture and a little bit more softness there, and I do that on the bottom as well. And you guys, this is one of my most favorite fall projects I have ever made. I absolutely love this. I think it is beautiful. It is something that is totally customizable to your taste and the colors in your home. I would love to know what you guys think of this one. I had so much fun making all of these DIYs. Did you guys enjoy them? Do you think I passed the challenge of using Dollar Tree florals? I love each one of these. However, this pumpkin that I'm showing right here, as I said earlier, is one of my most favorite fall DIYs I've ever made. I am so excited to find a place for it in my home. I would love to know your thoughts on these. Do you see yourself recreating any of these? If so, which one would it be? Or if you had a favorite, definitely let me know. Remember that down in my description box, I'm going to have a link to the playlist, so definitely check that out. It will also be pinned in my comments. Thank you so much, Ellie, for putting this challenge together, and thank you to Lori for participating with me and Ellie. It was so much fun. If you haven't yet, hit that thumbs up if you liked any of today's projects, and I would love if you would consider subscribing. As always, remember to be safe, be smart, be nice, be happy. Choose to have a good day because you are amazing. Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed the video that you just saw, here's another one that you might enjoy. And as always, remember to like and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and have an amazing day.